weed board appointment. I see we got 2 applicants. Does that mean there's 2 vacancies?
There are 2 vacancies, yes indeed.
Mm-hmm. Well, then that won't be difficult.
No.
In there.
I make an appointment. I make a motion. That we make an appointment of James Loman and Alvin Meeks to the weed board.
I'll second that.
All in favor of the motion, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? And do you know what terms are these? 2, 3? Guess we can find out when I go up there.
Well, you mean the length of their terms? Or their,
yeah, so.
how many terms they've served?
No, so I'm just trying to figure out.
They're 3-year
3 years.
3-year terms.
Okay.
There's 2 3-year terms and 1. Well, they're all on 3-year terms now, I guess. So 5 members,
Okay,
and they're staggered. So it's
all right.
2, 2, and 1 every year, or every other year, however that.
Who's the other 3?
Phil Donnelly, Harvey Mead, and Mike Efta. And I don't think there's been one of them that's not been on there for
Quite a while.
Harvey came
9.
on after.
Yeah, Harvey would be the most. He'd be the newest one. So when Chuck passed away,
Then
Oh,
Mike
and then Ed Kurth filled that role for a couple terms, and then Harvey I think came on. Harvey's probably only been on for maybe 3 years.
Yeah.
I think he's just coming up on his first term. So, but Phil's been on since 1965
really?
or so. 3-year period where he wasn't on it from 68 to 71 ish. So excellent. Well, thank you all very much. I will proceed with their keeping them in the loop and letting them know. And well, I guess Charlie or Casey will let them know that they got reappointed and that they'll be sworn at in January.
For that.
Do you have a secretary for the weed board?
Emily takes minutes, yes.
Oh, okay.
So
We'll call them and let them know. Usually the
Yes.
secretary would send a letter saying you've been appointed by the commissioners or whatever.
well, yeah, usually that comes from you guys. So
I didn't know that.
well, I mean, it's the
Yeah.
board makes the appointment, so it wouldn't be very appropriate for staff to send them the
Except for,
letter.
it's an elected position, isn't it?
No,
It's
appointed.
appointed by the
Appointed.
board, by the commissioners.
Yep. Yep.
I have to write that down on your to-do list.
And there should be a template in there. I know that.
City.
Yeah, Cindy had some letter she sent out, form letter-ish type thing, I think. So, and then Phil and Alvin are planning on attending the annual conference in Great Falls along with me, so now that Alvin's reappointed, we can cover his costs for registration and motel and
How many days
Travel.
is that conference?
it's two and a half days, Tuesday to Thursday.
Mm-hmm.
Starts Tuesday afternoon. It's a lot of travel time, and then I'm going over earlier for set up board meetings and committee meetings.
Somebody from MSU usually kind of do the lecturing or whatever?
Kind of depends. I mean, they brought in. We try to get speakers from regional, so sometimes we've had people come in from Washington that we're talking about, like Eurasian water milfoil and the aquatic species that were kind of coming that way for different sessions. And then there's the keynote speaker. We had one year we had somebody out of Florida that came up and talked about invasive the pythons and all the invasive species that Florida fights, and it kind of put it in perspective for us. It's like, wow, it's not so bad. And then we had somebody come up from Texas talking about feral hogs,
Feral hog.
and we had that was another one, kind of an eye opener. It's like, all right, it could be a lot worse. And then last year, we had a motivational speaker who's also a comedian, and a lot of people really enjoyed that because he kind of brought it home about making sure you balance home life and work and not get so caught up that you lose track of the important things in life. So he's actually coming back this year. He got
He's a
such
comedian, huh?
favorable reviews. Yeah, it helps that he's related to the executive director too. So he cuts a bit of a deal on it.
Huh.
He comes back to Montana. So, but
So did he have any material out on video or disc or CD or?
he does. Yeah, he has a website and he has material out. His name is Ken Kington.
Ken Kington?
Kington, yeah, not Kingston, but Kington.
Huh.
They dropped the F in there somewhere. I
Yeah.
don't know, but, yeah, pretty good. Like I say, a nice, comedian, but then also motivational speaker. You could actually take stuff through, and that's usually the banquet.
What
Keynote
Great
speaker.
Falls venue has a big conference meeting area?
We use the Heritage.
The Heritage Inn.
We used to move it around the state, and could never find a decent venue that really accommodated our needs very well. And the Heritage has always, the staff are fantastic. A lot of the staff have been there 20, 30 years. So once they get your routine down, you come back the next year and they, oh yeah, we remember how you like to have this set up there and that done there, and we'll get you this and that, and fantastic to work with. I mean, it's a bit aged, and they have gone in and remodeled a bunch of the rooms and some of their facility. But even after moving around, the board, I don't know, 7-8 years ago decided that they were just going to make give the Heritage like a 3-year contract and then review it every 3 years, and it's not too bad to get to for most people in the state.
Kind of central.
Yeah, more or less. But yeah, you would think Billings, would have a decent sized facility, but they always just, every place we went in Billings never treated us very well, and weren't very accommodating. So
Yeah, what is that? It's a big place too at Billings. What is that name of that place?
oh, they've
They
got
have a huge.
yeah, the ones out there off of King Avenue.
Yeah.
East exit, all that stuff where the conventions
Mhm.
used to happen, and
Yeah.
well, they still do, but we just never liked them.
Mhm.
So, and it makes it a little easier to get to it from this side of the state, So I'll be heading over there, whatever week that is in January, Sunday, and then coming back. And then next week, I get to fly down to Idaho, Boise, because they asked me to give a presentation at their weed conference, and they're paying, they're offering a $750 stipend. So
Wow.
I figure for that, I can either drive it
Mhm.
or I can just fly out of Missoula
Yeah.
for that, plus the hotel and meals, and that'll pretty much cover up that. So one thing that we're paying for is registration for the conference. So
Cool.
seems like a pretty good deal. So go down there and talk to them about PR and how to handle the public in contentious situations. And I've done it for a few years ago and came up with some articles about where weed crews got into some bad press and bad things happened, including people getting killed. So it's, you never think about it, but Washington had a deputy that had to shoot a landowner.
Oh, really?
Yeah. 'Cause
Washington State?
Yeah. Somebody over in that Seattle area, and they threatened the weed supervisor, and the weed supervisor called for backup, and the guy didn't back down, and
It's a different kind of weed, though.
could have been. Well, we don't know about that. But,
Yeah.
those details are glossed over. But, so yeah, just some things for crews and such to think about. With it's so easy for people to get out a cell phone and start videoing and be confrontational anymore, and even landowners will. I got another news story that I'm putting into it this year. Somebody in Iowa shot their neighbor over spraying weeds.
Wow.
So was upset that his neighbor was spraying weeds on that person's own property, and confronted him and ended up shooting the neighbor.
Wow.
Just, gets pretty tense out there sometimes, and I'm thankful that Mike and I have never had to deal with that. I think the only run-in with anybody with a gun I ever had was the first time I met old Slim,
Slim.
Wow.
and he got come charging out on the road at us. But once he found out we worked for the county and not the Forest Service, it was all right. Hey, keep on. You can go up there and do all you want.
Not funny how that works.
Yeah. So he was. Yeah, that's the only problem we've
You were
had.
the good government guy.
He was kind of a little interesting, a good colorful character for the
Yeah.
county. So, all right. Well, thank you very much.
All
All
right.
right, well, thanks, Dave.
Get the announcement for the open house next Friday for the office. I think it's sitting underneath that sale flyer there, isn't it? Or is that something else? Oh no, that's a map. Oh,
We
I
haven't
thought that
gotten
was.
anything yet.
I'll have to let her know. I saw some of the other offices had it, so I thought it would have been in your
That's
inbox
for you to keep, we have our own.
hoo-ha thing. So 11 to 3 next Friday.
Next
That's the
Friday.
Christmas party?
Yeah.
No,
No ludicrous.
yeah, wow.
There's no lutefisk, no, but there will be pickled herring. So.
All right.
Take care of it.
And soup and meats and cheeses and
Cool.
and
Sure. That's it.
folks from the Sanders County Extension Office are coming down. Well, I guess I could. I don't know if Kevin told you guys. Steve Siegland, our regional department head for Extension, took a position on campus with Extension. So they just hired a new regional department head for us. It's Dan Lucas out of Phillipsburg. He's been the extension agent there for a number of years. So he's now stepping up to be the new regional department head for the Western region.
So where does
And-
he work from? Is it Missoula office or where, or does he work
He'll
from home?
probably work from Peabody. Most of them have worked from home as long as they're able to get around, because the Western region's everything from Lincoln County to Park County.
Huh.
So it kind of runs all the way, everything west of the Rocky Mountain front, more or less. So the Sanders County Extension folks are coming down to our open house because Steve wants to make one last trip through all of the counties and try and get as many, kind of say a farewell bid or keep up the good work or whatever he wants to do. So
Huh.
they're going to come down, and that way Steve didn't have to go up to Sanders County and here
Yeah.
multiple trips. So there'll be a short bit in there where we'll probably individually or maybe as a group or something meet with Steve, but we expect between 11 and 3 we'll be there entertaining and open housing and eating and having fun.
Yeah.
So we'd love to see you there.
It's a scope of work and fees, Mary, for engineering services prepared by KLJ for the Mineral County Airport pavement maintenance project.
Just like last night.
They agree with the scope of work and believe the fees are acceptable for the proposed work. Their basis for concluding that is comparing other construction and similar airports with Ronan, Lincoln, Malta, Polson.
Did he send it to you?
Down in the paragraph there, it says Commissioner Simon states that the board is aware that money would be sent back. And then it says he feels that hiring someone to go out and organize field mitigation is a waste of those monies. What I said was, this is what I would like it to say. Commissioner Simons feels that on the grand scale of things, 200 feet of fuel reduction around a house
200,
is a big waste of money.
200, how many?
Feet.
200 feet.
Yes. That money should be available to the county for other projects, as it has been under the old Title III.
Okay, I'm sorry, Dwayne, will you say it again?
Okay. So Commissioner Simons feels that on the grand scale of things, 200 feet of fuel mitigation around a house is a big waste of money. That money should be available to the commissioners on the same basis as the old Title III. I don't feel that fuel mitigation is a waste of money. I think that if you look at our forest on a grand scale of what the Forest Service has not done over the years, 200 feet ain't gonna do a damn thing once you all catch it on fire. And it's not.
Okay, so now it reads, Commissioner Simons feels that on the grand scale of things, 200 feet of fuel mitigation around a house is a waste of those monies. He feels those monies should be available to the commissioners like the old Title III monies were.
And then maybe somebody will read this and it'll sink in one of these days before we all die. But probably not.
Probably not.
Now we have to fight to see if we're gonna get it
Yeah,
again.
that's right.
They didn't put secure rural schools in the continuing budget resolution.
Did you see
The one I
the
just read about
one?
The what one?
Hill?
That's last
That,
The email?
it's not in the CR for this year?
or secure,
Yeah.
either one.
But the figures that were supposedly gonna get or whatever.
I didn't look at that one.
Well, it says the road can be 20,000 less than the road.
Really? Instead of 1.2, it's only like 750,000 or something?
Well, it drops over the next, the last few years of it, it really drops. I've got a graph someplace at home that it shows it.
Charlie, on the Title III money discussion, maybe we just need to figure out a different way to rephrase this. I'll read it to you how I've seen it written. The auditors have warned the county that if the money is not spent, that the board is aware that it would have to send back.
Have to be
I wonder if
sent.
the auditors have warned the county that if the money is not spent, that it should be reminded that it would have to be sent back, something like that. That the auditors have warned the county that the money is not spent.
About the auditors in previous audits, the county has been,
And it's kind of a reminder, isn't it? Not really
Yeah, not really
warning.
a warning, yeah. We were well aware of it, I mean, it's,
Because that's what I asked that guy, I said, why do you call it a warning? Usually a warning is when you spend money inappropriately. He goes, well, it's really mainly a reminder. But yeah, in his term, he kept using the word warn, but it's basically a reminder to the county that Title III money that's not spent by a certain date would have to be.
okay, so how do you guys want that sentence to read?
Just, how about do a hash? The auditors have warned / reminded the county, but he did use the term warn, so I know why you wrote it, but it's just a reminder. It's not like we're in trouble for it, so it's a warning reminder.
reminder, warning.
Yeah. That if the money is not spent, then it would have to be returned and sent back. So if you just, I'm trying to get rid of that comma that says that, because it's kind of like, the auditors have warned.
And it doesn't have to be spent if it's not obligated, is. Because you have quite a while after you're obligated to actually spend it.
And how about that, Commissioner Simon? You said, Commissioner Simon states that the board is aware that the money would be sent back. Is there something else you want to add to that?
Oh, I added Commissioner Simons feels that on the grand scale, she has,
Mhm.
I added Commissioner Simons
Okay.
feels that on the grand scale of things, 200 feet of fuel mitigation around a house is a
Mhm.
big waste of money. And that this money should be able to be used in accordance with the old title.
So this is what the sentence now reads. The auditors have advised the county that if the money is not obligated, the county would be required to send those funds back.
That's perfect, yeah.
Yep,
And then after the Jessica, when it says Commissioner Steinman states that the board is aware that the money would be sent back. How about Commissioner Steinman states that the board is aware that unobligated money would have to be sent back?
There you go.
Okay,
And then where Tim proposes getting a letter, it should say to. Right now it says Tim proposes getting a letter who administrators.
Or maybe, is it from, Tim proposes getting a letter from,
Well,
right?
we want to send a letter to.
Oh, are we sending a letter to? Oh, yeah, Tim proposes sending a letter, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Tim proposes sending a letter to whomever administers the Title III funds to grant to,
Grant a letter
of
of acceptance.
exception, yeah.
Yeah. Well, you opened a whole can of worms.
Should Title III be capital too?
Yeah. I believe so. So have you advertised that Title III thing yet?
nope, you guys just have the
Okay.
RFP in front of you this week, so
Did you put something in there? I didn't look at it close. Did you put something in there about Arizona Maintenance Insurance?
mhm. That whole sentence is making me mad.
Is that in this folder? Then, is there something that says what we were gonna require them to have as far as, like, liability?
You know, it doesn't, but you guys write down what you think, and then I need to call,
Because he's not gonna be a employee, correct?
correct,
To be a contractor.
right. And I think that it needs to be spelled out a little bit more clearly that, you know, this person is responsible for all of the paperwork too.
Yeah,
Because what's happened in the past is somebody goes out, they do fuel mitigation, and then they come in on a scratch piece of paper,
yeah, I know.
and then our office is required to fill out the claim and make sure that there's money in the budget and do all that other kind of stuff. And, you know, that's not our responsibility.
No, it's not. And that's,
And it
that's
needs to
why
be
the mistakes have been made in the past. And by that time,
The money's already.
what
been spent.
choice do we have but to approve it because it's
Right.
already been spent and whatever's been done.
Yeah,
So do you say, no, we're not paying you for it?
right.
When we do have money sitting there that we can pay you for it? Yeah, I know. It's been kind of a cluster. So maybe
Does
we
Roger's
better
name have
review
a
this.
D in it?
I'm sorry, what?
Roger's name?
I don't know, does it?
I don't think so, it's just ROGER, isn't it?
I'm still back on the Tim sentence.
Oh.
Tim proposes sending a letter to whomever administers the Title III
No, what
fund.
he was proposing is that we get a letter from the feds exempting Mineral County,
Okay, but it's gonna take a letter to get that letter.
so,
What he was suggesting was, he said, give me a minute and I'll write a letter.
okay.
So, yes, like this.
Sending,
So Tim proposes sending a letter to whomever administers the Title III funds to grant a letter of exception to the county, so it may spend monies on other things like equipment.
It would be a very interesting process to see who set all those rules and regulations up and why.
I think they set you up to fail, so that's.
Well, I mean, government doesn't wanna have anything, we don't wanna have overreach, we don't wanna affect you, you're the local government, you know,
Well,
it is our money.
The thing
We've
that's
administered
baffling to
it
me
for
is that they
years.
would want you to spend the money on a hot dog roast and
Yeah.
flyers to kids and
Yep.
stuff, but they wouldn't want you to actually spend the money that would do any good.
Right.
You know.
That's the frustrating part, is it's not.
And yet they're not doing the work in an effective manner to do anything about it anyway, you know? It's, yeah. Anyway, back to the minutes.
And I bolded the motion.
Okay, and it says Commissioner Johnson to advertise, I
Yeah.
guess.
A motion was made by Commissioner Johnson to advertise.
Capitalized title.
Okay, so, did you get done with what you were doing there, Shaman?
Yep.
So below the salary resolution, Jessica present to discuss the salary resolution. When the fiscal year 17 was approved, and here's the part, there was a discrepancy in the split in the sheriff in the coroner. How about, there was a discrepancy in the split between the sheriff and coroner pay.
Okay.
That's all. Instead of a split in and the in, and the split in. And on the department head meeting, the first one, it says, Tim requests job description. Did he request a job description? Is that what, Tim requests a job description? Just put the letter A in there. And then on the very last sentence, and I'm just trying to help me remember what he was meaning on so we can put it in the minutes. Dale uses outside resources to keep informed if he has questions regarding his office. What was he talking about? What outside resources?
Lagone,
Pardon me?
Dale?
Yeah.
Well, he just said like if you guys questions about
He's been
court-related
using Wanda
stuff.
and stuff. I
Yeah.
know.
Oh, okay. I didn't know if it was like Facebook or what we were talking about there.
No, just like other courts.
Okay.
Could be Facebook.
Wanda
Yeah.
and-
It's
Oh,
valuable.
okay. So maybe we should clarify that. Dale uses outside resources
Such as Wanda.
such as retired judges to keep informed. Yeah.
Retired judges or
Yeah.
whatever.
'Cause I actually didn't know what that meant. I thought maybe he was working from home or something.
Enough about that core service should be capitalized too, I think.
On public comments, right after all those were present, it says, the paragraph starts off like this. Joel present that the maintenance department is on task.
We fixed it.
Okay.
That says presented.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we're gonna break it up a little bit.
You got nothing else?
I do.
I'm done picking on you, Sean.
Let
He's
me-
got something.
Can we go back to the Title III deal? Up there.
What I said was.
No, not even that.
Okay, go ahead.
Up there where we said, the successful candidate will be required to provide errors and omissions. Should we not also put something about liability insurance?
I think it's the same thing, isn't it?
Mm,
Errors or omissions, and then maybe slash liability.
Yeah.
Okay. Or do you want me to specifically state and liability?
I think it's.
Well, I'm just thinking, you know, that could be quite a bit of work. For a contractor, what happens if they go out, something happens on a place?
Mhm.
Yeah, I mean, I would hope that they would have liability there. If they were anywhere else, they would have to have liability insurance.
Okay. So now it just reads and liability insurance.
Yeah. Does anybody have a
Somebody in Williams investigation?
template? Has anybody else done this? Any other?
I sent out an email to other administrators and haven't gotten anything back.
Yeah.
I sent it out back in, when we were first talking about this, back in September or October. I think we were first talking about it. And I got a couple of things, but
Harold didn't have nothing as far as.
no, but I didn't specifically send it to him. But we can.
Yeah, I think before this gets advertised, we better have that kind of spelled out. Because you don't want to have a contractor in place and then find out that,
What does Sanders County
that's what I
do?
was, or Ravalli, they get
Well,
big
Sanders
chunks of
County
money.
has somebody that does this, so I was just wondering what, if they're on a contracted thing and what they're required to have, but
I mean, a perfect example, just here on a local level, is some of the tree trimming businesses. Some of them have liability insurance and others don't. If a tree trimmer is coming onto your place or onto a place of business, aren't you wanting them to have liability insurance?
well, I would think so.
I would think so too.
If they dropped a limb on your car and busted your car
Or
up,
themselves,
or
or,
themselves
yeah.
falling,
Yeah.
hurt
They're on
themselves,
your
or-
property. Is a homeowner going to be obligated to insure someone doing fuel mitigation on his place? I don't think so. I mean, but that's, if they didn't have liability, that's ultimately what would happen. And then would it come back to the county?
I only know of a couple of it.
So I was just emailing Harold. Because what he'll do is he'll get it and then he'll push it out to the counties that he knows
If they
do it. So the question is, Mineral County is in the process of sending out an RFP for a Title III coordinator. Mineral County has not spent any of those new Title III monies, and my board is inquiring how other counties are handling their Title III monies, and do they have coordinators that oversee those funds?
What are they requiring for insurance? Errors and omissions, liability, question mark.
What breadth of scope does Title III entail? If we're only looking at fuel mitigation, we want to spell out that it's for fuel mitigation, not everything in Title III?
No, because there's other things that he'll be doing also. I mean, they'll handle all aspects of Title III, not just fuel mitigation.
but-
There's a paragraph in the, oh, I'm sorry, Larry.
But it's mainly gonna be for.
Well, depends on what application you
Yeah.
get. I mean,
Right.
if we do it like we did it in the past, if your administrator, and that's something you would have to have a chat with them about. If your administrator is going to, they have to advertise, there isn't
Yeah.
any, you can't just earmark it all
No.
fuel mitigation. So anything that's in that,
In the scope of
Yeah.
what we could spend it on.
yeah, they would have to have an advertisement period of, we are accepting applications for Title III expenditures. That's how we did it before. And then you put your application in, and then we either denied it or some years there was enough money for whatever anybody asked, other years there wasn't, and you had to divvy it up. So that'd all be part of that person's purview. It's a pain in the butt. It shouldn't be that difficult. I think I said that before.
Okay, so now it says, Mineral County is in the process of trying to send out an RFP for a Title III coordinator, as we have not spent any of those new monies. My board is inquiring how other counties are handling their Title III monies, and do they have coordinators that oversee those funds? If so, what are they requiring for insurance, errors and omissions / liability insurance? Any oversight would be greatly appreciated.
Yeah, sounds good. Tell them Roman is willing to pay a cash reward for any of that information. It will come out of its highway patrol retirement fund.
Are you getting help?
Yeah, I need to get fingerprints. Was where I needed?
Did they know you're standing there?
Yep, I went down.
Oh, okay.
Okay, this is all right. Thanks for in the right spot. Thank you.
You are.
Oh, so he is applying, he's not applying this just as the coalition. He's applying for that whole $20,000 on behalf of Mineral County, not just the coalition.
Is that Jim?
Kevin,
Kevin, okay.
Because it says right here on the legal part, it says 5,000 is being requested for this service to date. Mineral County has filed amicus briefs, friends of the court, and in some cases that have a direct impact. So he's applying as Mineral County Commissioner.
And I'm assuming if we get it, then Kevin would administrate it through the economic
Yeah, he'd
development.
about have to. It says that in here.
Yeah.
Good.
But then
So
according
that-
to Matt, he looks like we've already got some of it.
I hope so, yeah.
I mean, that's according to his
I wonder
email
if
that we
nobody, I
got.
wonder if nobody else applied, or if there's
Well, I
just
think
that
there's
much.
so much, but then they've given it in like 5,000, or, little
Yeah.
increments so that,
And he had a little more incentive. He got a little pep talk from one of our legislators.
Anything else on the minutes?
I'm good with him,
me too.
till I see him.
If we ever see him.
Let's wait.
We'll
for
have to
Roman.
wait till Roman gets back.
Yeah, see, that's what I was confused with me, was that he was applying this just as the coalition when he was applying for that money. So that spells that out. Thank you, Charlie.
You're welcome.
No, did you see that spreadsheet though from Mako?
I didn't open it, no, I didn't.
Oh,
But I know it drastically goes down.
well, it says to be conservative, it says attached is a spreadsheet showing my estimates of the total impacts to each county. The reduction for the Title I amounts received last year to what I conservatively project you will receive under the 25% payment formula results in a statewide loss of about 13.5 million, with the reduction to county road funds being about 9 million.
Yeah, that's if they go to the 25%. Yeah,
But yeah, but it's like a 400 and some thousand dollars loss to us,
yeah,
our road department.
$467,000
Yeah.
yeah. And why is that?
because they're stupid.
No, it's because they aren't selling timber.
10% reduction. That's huge for
Oh,
Yeah,
Jason.
big, no kidding.
Can I forward that to Jason?
Yeah, should,
yeah,
You guys want us to start
probably
scheduling that?
probably the sooner the better, yeah.
Like, so next week?
Yeah, that'd be, I mean, this isn't exactly anything that we're overwhelmed with on the agendas for
well, I did,
next few months.
you know, we got that letter from Mako, or no, well, it was from the, Jane Weber, that,
Yeah.
and there was that
Forest
part, that
County.
little part in there that said, you know, tell your senators this, and so I copied and pasted and sent that to that Danes' representative, and then from the commissioners, and then I asked Casey if she would send it, because I didn't have Zinke's representatives in information or
Well, now would be a good
testers.
time today to maybe call those places and get those reps out here for that meeting.
Mhm.
Yep. We might want to coordinate that with Angelo and see when they can come in too before we set a solid date.
What's Angelo's number?
Well, next coalition is Tuesday.
Yeah.
We're short on time.
239-2752. That's his cell. I don't know what the office 2475 I think is.
Somebody's garnishing it from their paycheck.
Okay, Mr. Chairman, I make a motion that we approve the minutes.
And I'll second that.
All right, we're finally done, huh? Picking on Charlie?
That was the December 2nd
I
minute.
told
Yes.
Casey, usually I take the time and sit down and I go through the minutes before I give them to you. I told Casey, see, this is why you sit down and go through them before, because we didn't.
Okay, a motion by Mr. Simon, seconded by Mr. Johnston, all in favor of passing the minutes. With said changes, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. And then we were talking about setting up something, try and get everybody's representative in here to talk about secure rural schools.
Uh-huh,
Get a letter written.
yeah.
You know what I thought was one of the most effective ways to impact them was that Montana Public Radio.
They listen to that?
Oh, well, it goes statewide. Remember when we talked to them
Oh,
last
yeah.
year? I whined like a baby. I'm a pretty good beggar at times. It shouldn't have to be a yearly struggle.
Mm-hmm.
Harold already emailed us back.
So you were saying Denley's, because I thought Denley was in training in Helena, but he'll be back and you're gonna do, this is a, what kind of a dinner party thing you're talking?
Oh. I'm sorry, what?
Oh,
He,
Information from Harold.
because he can't sit on 2 elected boards, he
Oh.
has to resign from the Conservation District.
oh,
And he's been a member of the Conservation District for,
many moons?
yeah, so anyway, it's kind of a,
So you're gonna have that in
Dinner.
here, a little dinner potluck thing, Charlie?
Over at the conference center in the old breadboard building.
Okay,
Yeah, over there.
at lunchtime or
no,
evening
dinner.
time?
5 o'clock.
5 o'clock?
Okay, what Harold have to say?
He says, I'm not aware of a county that has anyone other than staff administering the expenditure of Title III. With allowable uses being so restricted, I guess I'm not sure what a coordinator would do. If the coordinator would be an independent contractor, all the normal regulations for contracting would apply. One note is that I do not think paying a coordinator would be an allowable cost, so that would be entirely the
They
county's.
just said that.
I'll be darned.
Oh,
Who said that?
Well, isn't that what?
Somebody said that. You know,
Somebody
I know.
said
Yeah.
Yeah. I know.
was it Tim? He always comes up with that stuff.
Well, isn't it in the Title III to pay? I thought I read it in the regulation things to pay for a coordinator.
I don't know.
Well, I'm
Oh, yeah,
sure
there it
that's
is.
what
It's in there.
Sanders County does. They don't have somebody on staff that does it.
I'll call, it's not Lorraine anymore.
Oh, she's not there anymore. Huh?
No, I can't remember, Julie, I think her name. I'll call and see what they have. Or Casey will.
You got 6 printed here. I don't know if there's more than 6. There, an administrator isn't under any of those.
Is it Jessica that sits in?
I defer. I hate to start arguing this early in the morning.
Remember the name of that website?
Wait for Title I.
Yeah. I don't do the max to the rack, and the rest goes into their road fund. I just think.
You can go get it, bring it over to me today, I'll be here for a
Say
little while
yes to
longer, but
that.
not much longer.
Huh.
I have to go to Ronan today.
Did we ever sign the collective bargaining agreement? You ever gotten that and
I don't
signed it?
remember.
Like Ken Burley and Angelo and Kevin Chamberlain, the superintendents, about the negative impact on SRS and, you know, to invite them to come to
Oh,
next
uh-huh.
week's meeting. So what I have is the Monroe County Commissioners would like to invite you to a meeting to discuss the severe negative impact of not receiving SRS and PILT funds will have on our community. The intended outcome is to draft a letter to our legislative representatives in hope of outlining.
Is it just our legislative or congressional too? Are we doing
I'll
both?
put and congressional,
Okay.
if I could spell it, okay? In hopes of outlining the impacts on our, hello? On our county,
Yes, that sounds
okay?
good.
I just don't wanna put words in your mouth. Does that look okay, Casey? Anything else you guys want me to include? No? Okay.
Be a clarification, what Greg said was that they give the max to the rack, and I know that we could give a higher percentage. And he said then the rest goes into their road fund. But I didn't think that we ever had a choice about how much went into schools and roads.
So you want me to print out Title II stuff for you?
Yeah, maybe Title I and II. Please. Do the commissioners have any say? I was talking with Greg Chilcott to see what they do with Title III. He says that they don't take Title III.
You don't have to.
Yeah, so what happens to it then? Does it automatically go into your road fund?
I think
That's what
the
he said.
Forest Service gets it.
Well, why would you? Because he told me, he said they give the max to the rack, and then he said the rest goes into our road fund. And I said, well, I have trouble giving anything to the Forest Service.
Well, you know, the law changed a little bit, so I would, if it does, I'd put it in the road fund.
Yeah.
All that 410 from new Title III?
But,
Well, if you could, I don't know if you could that. but
you have to
if-
choose like in,
Yeah,
is it January or just
Yeah.
now where it's
the
going?
percentage of,
Yeah. Uh-huh,
yeah.
so.
But you don't have any choice on the Title I and on the road and school.
No.
No, I didn't think so either. So if you don't take the Title III, it must just automatically go to the road fund.
I would ask Harold because I don't think it does that.
Yeah, I'll get it.
Because otherwise, why wouldn't you just do that?
Well, yeah, but why are they doing it? Ravalli must get,
Are they?
I just talked to Greg Chilcott a few minutes ago.
Well, if they are, I would do it.
Yeah.
What does your law say?
Well, she didn't print anything on Title I. I was just reading all the Title III crap.
Of course, back when it first started, you kind of got to do county projects. Now you're kind of stuck doing pamphlets or something.
Yeah. 200 feet around your house.
Huh. Wow.
Charlie,
Yeah,
shoot Harold an email
okay.
and ask him about that. What happens if you choose not to take Title III? Does that money go into the road fund? And would that be an option with what we already have? Probably not. See ya! She was waving to you in case you.
Oh.
So I said, see ya. You'll get used to me, Casey. You'd get used to me a lot faster if you just sat up here where I could talk to you. She's gonna be trouble, Dennis, I can see already. I got one up on her this morning though, bro.
Did you?
Yeah. I walked down here from St. Regis, took the back road, and I was here before she was. She's gonna disagree.
Maybe she's just a careful driver.
She says something about I haven't walked anywhere in the better part of my life. Weren't you? You were gonna say that.
Not quite.
Okay, Dwayne, I'm sorry. Send an email to Harold.
Asking if the commissioners have to take the Title III money, and if we choose not to take the Title III money, does that money automatically go into the road fund?